Welcome to Centauri Stir Fry. Stir Fry here, how the heck are you? Hope you're being excellent to each other, wild stallions. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, today we're checking out another statue. This is the Sideshow Collectibles Rogue Comiquette. This came out in 2008. This is the exclusive version. The exclusive came with this really sweet Adam Hughes print, which all these statues are based off of. For instance, there was the Rogue, there was a Mystique, a Magic, a Jean Grey as the Black Queen, and maybe a couple others. But I love this print. It's getting framed. It's frame-ish. It's on the wall soon. So I'll lay this down gently. Anyway, not much to this box. It really just shows a couple of images of her and her, like, kind of like a riff on her original costume. And later, I think she wore this in the Extreme X-Men. There's the print. So, like, okay. So Comiquettes, 5th scale. A few exceptions. Spider-Man, Silver Surfer, we know that. Her first appearance was in this really sweet, beautiful, and Avengers Annual number 10, where she was with Mystique and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. There they are. Mystique, Avalanche, Destiny, what do we got? Pyro, and the Blob. Later they become Freedom Force, but they take on the Avengers, and Rogue pretty much single-handedly takes them out by absorbing Miss Marvel's powers. So you're going to see her in like the next Avengers movies or whatever. But Rogue took her powers and her psyche and permanently held them, and Miss Marvel was like pretty much out of the picture for a long time. So Rogue is no joke. She's hardcore. She's toughy, and she used to be a villain. Like I said, she hung out with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and then her first appearance in an X-Men book was this. Was it 158? Yeah, Uncanny X-Men 158. Look at that hairdo. Right there says it all. That hairdo looks dangerous. She's got it spiked up. She's definitely in trouble. She's punching Wolverine way the heck over there. It's really cool. I don't think she actually becomes part of the X-Men until like maybe 20 issues later, and she, the rest is history. Everyone knows the costume from the X-Men cartoon where she's got the yellow, and Sideshow Collectibles has a new statue coming out, another premium format. With her yellow Jim Lee costume. But I do like this because it's a little smaller, it's easier to display, first of all, and it's got the hood. I really like the idea of the hood and the gloves and her being like kind of like trying to hide and keep away from, people touching her. Like she's devoid of human contact because she's scared of what they might do to them. Because she might permanently incapacitate them or cripple them for life, and that's always a part of her that makes her cool. She's vulnerable and guarded, and that's kind of a cool thing about her character. But when she's not guarded, I love this book. Man, if you find this for $1, pick it up. This is a great example of some really cool people. A very cool example of Rogue. This is when Rogue, Longshot, Dazzler, and Psylocke try to take on the Juggernaut. It's hilarious. There's some really good moments in there. It's one of my favorite X-Men comic books. I love this book. It's a really cool cover by Art Adams. The interior is by Mark Silvestri. So, okay, with that being said, let's check out this really cool statue. She's taking off her glove. She's about to touch somebody, like maybe the X-Men get their butt kicked. She jumps right through a wall. She's pulling her glove off, and it's all about to be over with. So let's get some close-ups. Here's the Rogue Comiquette by Sideshow Collectibles, next to the Batman Blackest Night Batman Pop. And there she is. This is the Rogue Comiquette by Sideshow Collectibles. I believe this came out in like 2008. Let's see here. Turn around here. Got the Infinity Gauntlet, of course. I didn't want to do an unboxing because this thing is a pain in the butt to put together. Basically, there's a seam there with her hand. The glove attaches. Just kind of sits in the other hand there. All these like cement blocks are all individually. You have to add them. It's a real pain in the butt, to be honest with you, to put together. But it's pretty. I love you gotta love the paint on this thing. Look at that. It's freaking gorgeous. Like the reflective paint there. It's just awesome choice. I think it really pops. I love the idea of it, first of all. It's just a great idea. These Comiquettes were so cool. I really like this, the Iceman. I don't think there's a Comiquette that I don't like. Maybe the Mystique, just because of the color. She looks really dark. Maybe too dark, but the detail in there, it's amazing. I think this is a great piece. This came out in 2008. It is 5th scale, but I usually pose her next to the XM Wolverine, so they kind of pair it nicely. Let's go a little closer. Here's the base. I think it's really awesome. This whole concept is cool. So you got all these different cinder blocks, you got all this cracking, and there's lots of really good detail. I didn't want to do an unboxing, like I said, because it was so ridiculous to put together. Not like a Prime 1 model kit, but I mean, it had like a lot of pieces. Nothing against that. I mean, they have beautiful stuff. But like I said, okay, this is older, 2008. I'm assuming the X-Men are like look at the title work here. I'm guessing that they were like in like a diner, I guess. Like the X-Men were all eating cheeseburgers and curly fries, and then like Black Tom Cassidy and the Juggernaut show up, and like Rogue and I guess Wolverine and I don't know, probably like Dazzler are like, oh man, gosh. So, you know, Rogue was in the bathroom at the time, so, you know, she had to put up the hood real quick and bust through the window. Everyone else is getting their butt kicked. Rogue shows up with those boots. I mean, the color's amazing. It's really cool. Alright, so that's my synopsis for the scenario that's occurring here. But, all in all, really cool. Okay, now we're in the midsection here. All these cinder blocks are like different, they're separate pieces. Pegs. Like this one is actually in the body. That one's right there. There's like two. So there's like 4 different separate sections of the cinder blocks you have to insert. But the detail on this, like the cracks are really cool. And if you can see like the side, like the mortar and all that crap, like man, I think it's really awesome. This is one of Sideshow's better concepts, in my opinion. I really like it. And I also like the paint job. Paint job is amazing. Just the color they chose, and I'm glad they did it glossy. It just really pops. Very well done. Very cool. There's the X rump, which I mean, not bad. I just like the idea of this thing. I like the fact that she's wearing her. I guess at the time, this is like 2008, so I guess it was. I think it was Extreme X-Men, but she also wore this during the Uncanny Avengers, so. She's been wearing this hood design for a long time. Let's get up there and look at the face. Here she is. Here's the face and the hood. I think it's really cool. Like the body itself is all one piece. Then there's the base and the center blocks, and then you've got like the hand, which actually is really well painted. I'm very impressed by the paint job on the hand. It looks very realistic. But it's a separate piece here, and then this whole thing is just like one thing, and it just kind of rests on there. So that's pretty gutsy move on their part, I think. I mean, not a whole lot of statue companies would do this design. I think that was I think it took some testes to put this thing together. So I really like the decision they made. I think it's pretty cool. Just again, the glorious paint job on the hood. I think it rocks. There is a gap there, which I need to file down and get that to set right. It's a weird story though, because I actually have 2 of these. One I broken, and then got my money back, and I bought this one. So I actually have a regular that's kind of messed up, and I have the exclusive. So I might be able to interchange the bodies. I think the bodies are fine. Not really sure why I told you that. It's really none of your business, but I have an extra Rogue. Anyway, yeah. I think the face is cool. This is based off Adam Hughes' artwork. It is definitely not as cool as the art print, because I think it's kind of hard for Sideshow to do smiles. But I think they did a pretty good job. I think she looks pretty cool. She looks tough. Like, just her attitude is just like, you guys screwed up. I was eating a hamburger. I love curly fries. Black Tom, it's your last day. I'm coming through this wall. I'm taking off this glove, and I'm taking you out. That's what's cool about this. Lots of cool attitude, and the paint rocks, and great physique, and just a very cool concept. I think this might be my Rogue to keep. Sideshow's coming up with another one. It's the Jim Lee inspired, more of a dynamic pose, I suppose. But it's more like the Jim Lee 90s costume. But this to me is more roguish. I'm going to stop right there and say it's more roguish. I really dig it. I like the hood. I like the idea. Ah, man, I just say. I mean, once that comes out, guys, if I were you, I would go online and try to pick one of these up for cheap, like I did more than a few years ago. And I think you'll be happy with it. Still, it just depends on who you pose it with. I mean, I put her with Wolverine just because he's shorter, so it makes her look taller. I mean, we're just talking about math. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Centauri Stir Fry. Remember, spay neuter your pets, and Manu is right. Don't forget to check out the contest that might be going on if you're into some free comics. But you guys have a good one. Stay excellent to each other, wild stallions.